Hi, this is another one in a series of informational and instructional videos about guns. For your information, all guns have been checked to make sure they're unloaded unless we're using them in firing sequences. So if we forget to go through the motions of clearing a gun when we're displaying it, don't get your knickers in a twist, everything's okay. The opinions that are stated are strictly mine. You're free to disagree with me all you want. And this information is worth exactly what you're paying for it. Hopefully, these will give you some good idea of the subjects we're talking about. And if not, well, you haven't wasted much. Anyway, here we go. Today we're going to talk about the Walther PPKS. What we're going to talk about today is the current production model of the Walther PPKS in.22 long rifle. The Walther PPK has a long history of production. It was first made in Germany in the 1930s. It's one of the first double-action automatics to be produced. The name PP is an abbreviation for the German police pistol. PPK is an abbreviation for a shortened version of the pistol, which was made for undercover work and also for high-ranking officers, called the police pistol Kurz. Kurz in German means short. When I was a young man, we were often told it meant police pistol criminal, which stood for undercover cops using this gun. That, however, is a romantic legend and not exactly true. This gun is currently available. It is made in Germany, and I believe it, with some exceptions, to be an extremely high-quality piece and something that most shooters will be interested in. So let's take a little more detailed look at it. The Walther PPK has basically only two controls on it. One is the safety, which is located here. This is the fire position. This is the safe position. And the magazine release. The magazine release also interacts as a bolt hold open. And when you remove the magazine or you insert a full magazine and pull the slide back, the gun will close. If the safety is left on, like we left it on, it will drop the hammer, but there's a hammer block in this mechanism which will keep the gun from firing. And in fact, the gun is perfectly safe. That is, as safe as any safety is, until it's released. Releasing the safety puts the gun in the double action mode for the first shot. So if you have a round chambered, the hammer down, and the safety on, moving the safety into the fire position allows you to pull the trigger and fire the first round. You also have the option of cocking the hammer with the safety off and firing the first round in the single action mode. Of course, the gun will fire and eject a cartridge, and all subsequent rounds will be self-cocking until the last round locks the action open. Disassembly of this gun is extremely simple, and this has been a hallmark of all the Walther products since the 1930s. You simply cock the hammer, move the slide back a little bit, and pull the trigger guard down. And then pull the slide back all the way and up and forward. And the gun has just been field stripped into its major components: the slide, the frame, the barrel, which is permanently mounted in the frame, and of course the magazine. So let's talk a little bit about how this is made. The PPKS has a kind of interesting history. The PPK was produced from the 30s all the way through World War II. And in the post-war era, when Walther was permitted to make guns again, the Walther factory during World War II had been in Eastern Germany. But with the fall of Eastern Germany to communism, the Walther gun manufacturing business was moved to West Germany, to the German town of Ulm, and they resumed production there. And after a period of denazification, the Germans were allowed to make handguns again. And the PP and the PPK were exported to the United States and available through such traditional importers as Stoeger. With the enactment of the Gun Control Act of 1968, the anti-gun forces in the United States made the determination that we could make crime go away by prohibiting the importation of small-framed automatics like the Walther PPK. In order to legally import the Walther PPK, the gun was redesigned to have the longer PP frame, and in addition, this magazine with a finger pinky index was designed to get the gun up to the dimensions required by GC 68 to be imported. And as we all know, as a result, there's never been any gun crime in the United States since the enactment of these regulations. What the Germans thought of this nonsense can only be speculated on. This current production gun is totally different than traditional PPKs. And the reason for that is that it's completely made out of investment castings of non-ferrous metals, except for some critical steel components. The slide is essentially a investment casting of some sort of die casting metal or aluminum alloy. It's extremely nicely made. I believe that this is an effort to reduce the cost of machining because we can make these pieces with an investment casting and not have to literally mill them out of a solid billet of steel. The frame itself is also an investment casting, and the barrel housing is also an investment casting. It will not attract a magnet. However, the inside of the barrel is a steel liner, which is sufficient to perform all the functions necessary for a barrel. Now, some people really don't like the idea of non-steel guns, and that's perfectly okay. It's a matter of taste. However, I would point out that if anybody knows how to make a high-quality non-steel gun, it's the Walther company. They started experimenting with non-steel PPs and PPKs in the 1930s, and indeed produced a very limited number of totally duraluminum guns, except for the barrels, for high-ranking military officers and high-ranking Nazi party members. They also made several shotguns, high-quality double-barreled shotguns, side-by-sides and over and unders, that had duraluminum receivers. And the idea was, not only was it a wonderful new technology, but it also reduced weight. The Walther company realizing that most pistols are carried a great deal more than they're actually shot. In the post-war era, and here we have the PPK's big brother, the P38, and this is a post-war P38, also known as the P1 in the slightly revised German Army. The frame is an aluminum casting, and in this case, the idea is to get the weight down. And these pistols have held up quite successfully. I've had several of these over the years, and I haven't encountered one that has worn out yet. So I'm pretty happy with the idea of the Walther company making non-steel guns. And we'll see how this little PPKS holds up. But that said, they have kept the price down to a level that allows them still to make the gun in Germany and sell it to Americans at a very attractive price. You can probably pick these guns up currently for around $250, which is a pretty desirable price for PPK. There was a version of the PPK in 22 that was made, I want to say, in the 60s and 70s, and it was quite a pricey proposition because it was the traditional steel gun. Okay, we're going to put this back together now, and to do that, you put the recoil spring on. You need to have the hammer cocked. Insert the recoil spring in the barrel. Pull the trigger guard down and come back, and you may have a little trouble getting it back together unless you press the slide down, and that's all there is to it. Just wonderful. The gun comes with one stainless steel magazine. That's kind of another cost-cutting thing. Is, you know, it's traditional that you get a spare mag with your pistol, but there's only one included in this package. They are, however, widely available for around 25 bucks on the internet, and you know, you can buy as many as you need. The major criticism of this pistol, two things. The single action pull is remarkably good. In fact, I'm surprised that an over-the-counter pistol comes with this good a trigger pull. However, the double action trigger pull is definitely lawyer-proof. It registers about 17 pounds, and if you try to stage it, it's almost hopeless of hitting anything. Now, for a straight panic, pull it out of your pocket and shoot straight through, you can probably do okay. Hopefully there will be an aftermarket spring pack on the market that will cure this. The sights also lack visibility. The good thing about the sights is that they are easily removable. On the original PPKs, the front sight is milled into the frame and is absolutely not removable without a good deal of gunsmithing. The rear sight on this is just simply held on with a socket screw and can be easily removed, and it can also be adjusted to a degree for windage. The original gun, when it comes to new, will include a couple of extra front sights should you need to change point of impact, although I found the ones provided by the factory to be right on. But hopefully there will be aftermarket sights on the market soon, and a click adjustable rear sight on this pistol would really be nice, because this thing is a plinker's dream. Some people have reported reliability problems with it. I think it probably depends on the ammunition in the individual gun. I've had a couple failures to feed and a couple of stovepipe jams and several hundred rounds of ammunition. I've tested a variety of ammunition. But I would rate this thing as a pretty good buy. And if you always wanted a PPK made in Germany, I would recommend that you check it out. Thanks for watching, and remember, the only safety that's worth a damn is between your ears.